Did you watch
Probably.
the Michael Cohen show yesterday?
I saw a good piece of it, yeah.
It was great. It was great.
Very comfortable to listen to. It's very he sounds like he really needs a drink of water.
Yeah. He also, he was working so...
Trump couldn't be happy with him as his attorney.
I don't know if you heard this, but they're not working together anymore.
I was wondering, why the fuck would his lawyer be saying this stuff?
He didn't seem like that good of a lawyer, right?
No.
Yeah, no, Michael Cohen is actually not even a lawyer anymore. He's disbarred. And in May, he's going to go ahead and go to jail for a couple years.
Yeah.
But on his way out, he decided to have a scorched earth policy.
I don't even know how much this hurts. Again, unless he gives away something that nobody knew.
It's just embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, but I don't even know. And I don't even know how much of it I believe. Some of it I'm sure is true, and some of it I'm sure is exaggerated and not true.
It was so funny. Like, my favorite part about watching it, and I think what hooked me, what kept me there, was as I'm watching it, every time he got to a Republican representative asking the questions, they were just lambasting him.
Yep.
Go, how do you think we can believe you? Didn't you lie to us before? And now you're in here besmirching the president's name, blah, 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 just reprimanding him. And then they'd go to a Democratic representative and they go, first of all, we thank you for finally coming forward with the truth. It's really great to see you here. And you're going... Are you guys just following a script?
Isn't it funny, too, like how even in the beginning to start it, they couldn't even agree on starting.
No.
The gentleman would like to talk to the chairperson. I believe we should adjourn this meeting until we've had plenty of time because they got the material. The rules are we have 24 hours to look. The gentleman would like to be addressed by the chair. I'll say aye, no. They weren't even decided that they were going to have the fucking hearing.
I loved it. They're sitting there.
The gentleman.
And Michael Cohen is such a lawyer. He knows that all of them have limited time. And so you'd go, and one of the people would go, did you? And obviously it was a Republican. And they'd go, did you or did you not take the longest amount of time possible to get us your written statement? And then Michael Cohen goes, what? And they go, did you take the longest amount of time possible to give us your written statement? I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Your statement, you didn't give it to us till this morning. Did you take as long as you could have? Did I take as long as I could? And you're just watching this thing. First of all, the question doesn't matter because he didn't do anything wrong. He just waited to the last minute like anybody would have. And this guy's falling for Michael Cohen's trap where he's just trying to stretch this out as long as possible.
Because they have an extra amount of time.
Every time they go... They just, the windbags up there asking their questions would go and ask their questions up until the time limit ran out. They go, your time is up. Mr. Cohen, if you would answer the question. Every single time the time limit went up, I swear, that I saw, Michael Cohen would go, I don't have an answer for that. And then they'd move on to the next person. I'm going to jail. I'm not going to see my family. My wife, I'm going to jail. I apologize. Yeah, he was. He seemed like he was at least. Honestly, he's forthcoming about everything. But he did handle. It was fun watching the Republicans and the Democrats. It's like they're all so full of shit. Yeah. Not one Democrat seemed to really bash him, and not one Republican seemed to agree with anything he said. What a coincidence. Yeah, play a little of this, Troy. This is This is the guy, by the way, Jim Jordan's the one who I think initially tried to stop the hearing. Yeah. He's the first one, I think, who was like, oh, the chair, Mr. Chair. He's one of the Republicans. He's a Republican from Ohio. He's one of the ones that was not having it. He didn't like that Michael Cohen was there at all. He was like Duvall standing up with, the committee owes my client an apology.
Here's what the U.S. Attorney said about Mr. Cohen. While Mr. Cohen enjoyed a privileged life, his desire for ever greater wealth and influence precipitated an extensive course of criminal conduct. Mr. Cohen committed four distinct federal crimes over a period of several years. He was motivated to do so by personal greed and repeatedly used his power and influence for deceptive ends. But the Democrats don't care. They don't care. They just want to use you, Mr. Cohen. You're their patsy today. Oh, my God. They got to find somebody, somewhere, to say something so they can try to remove the president from office. Not even a question. He's just like making a statement. Yeah, you're a patsy, using Oswald lingo. Yeah, of course he is. I love that too. That they'd go on their monologues like this, going, "You're a patsy for the Democrats, and
you're a terrible person and you're lying now just like you're lying before and we can't trust you. And Michael Cohen would try to go, well, I'm lying now. I'm not lying now, but before. Mr. Cohen, it's my time, not your time. It's my time, not your time, Mr. Cohen. It's my time, not your time. I heard them say that, like, multiple people. It's my time, not your time.
I thank the gentleman. I would like to give my time. The gentleman.
It's my time. It's my time. And they go, wait. You get like 5 minutes, and some of these guys, instead of using it to ask questions, they'd go, I'm just going to, I've been working on this little monologue.
They're making statements.
I want to test this out. Yeah.
They want things that Trump will be happy to hear, and the Democrats want things that they think will make him look bad.
That's true. I mean, literally, one of the guys, like this older guy who I had never even seen before, was just rambling. And he was just talking about what a great man the president was. I think he's doing great things for the country. And it's like, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah, exactly. Who cares what you think?
You just sucking up? Are you just kissing ass right now because you think the president might be watching? And he's going, oh, that guy from West Virginia, he was great.
Yeah.
He was great. He really had his shit together.
And poor Don Jr. getting banged. Did you hear the Don Jr. clip?
Yeah, I got it here. First of all, and this is a good example of Cohen's voice too, which I love your Michael Cohen impression.
I'm going to jail.
Dude, he was working so hard. You could see it in his face. You could hear it in his inflection. He knows how these things work. The people, they try to rile up Cohen so that he comes off as upset and crazy, and they can go, oh, look, see, this man is clearly insane. He's
discredit
nuts.
Him, sure.
Yeah. This is Cohen talking about Don Jr. What Donald Trump, our great and grand president, thinks of Don Jr. Yeah.
Sometime in the summer of 2017, I read all over the media that there had been a meeting in Trump Tower in June of 2016 involving Don Jr. and others from the campaign with Russians, including a representative of the Russian government, and an email setting up the meeting with the subject line, "Dirt on Hillary Clinton."
Oh.
Something clicked in my mind. I remembered being in a room with Mr. Trump, probably in early June of 2016, when something peculiar happened.
Peculiar.
Don Trump Jr. came into the room and walked behind his father's desk, which in and of itself was unusual. People didn't just walk behind Mr. Trump's desk to talk to him.
It's his son.
And I recall Don Jr. leaning over to his father and speaking in a low voice, which I could clearly hear, and saying, "The meeting is all set."
Whoa.
And I remember Mr. Trump saying, "Okay, good. Let me know." What struck me as I looked back and thought about the exchange between Don Jr. and his father was, first, that Mr. Trump had frequently told me and others that his son Don Jr. had the worst judgment of anyone in the world.
Oh, shit.
And also that Don Jr. would never set up any meeting of significance alone, and certainly not without checking with his father.
You know, you don't want to hear that.
I mean, I think he was on to say in the Trump world, no one does anything without him knowing.
Right, but you at least...
I don't give a fuck about the WikiLeaks email. I just don't give a fuck. Enough.
But why'd you... But that's what I mean. You know that nothing is going to come of this. And as a matter of fact, somebody asked Trump while he was over in Vietnam, they were like, did you see any of the Cohen hearing? And Trump said, I saw a little bit of it. And Trump said that he was actually surprised by it, pleasantly surprised, because if you listen to him, they asked him about collusion, which Trump said was the most important part, and Cohen said that he had no knowledge of any collusion. There was no collusion. So Trump said that it was actually refreshing to hear Michael Cohen only lie about 95% of the things, and 5% was truthful. He said he lied a lot. He lied a lot, but he was happy that there was no collusion.
There was no collusion that I was aware of.
You know what his voice sounds like?
Oofa, oofa, oofa.
It's a combo of Kenny and Craig Schenkel.
Oh my God.
Ken Schenkel?
Yeah, Ken Cohen. I like that.
Club Soda
Craigie.
Yeah. Club Soda Michael. Oh, Mr. President, it's not good news.
You would think, as much money as we pay in taxes, that the government could figure out a way. If they're going to put these things on every channel on TV, they would figure out a way to get some mics in Congress that don't pop all the peas all the time. If Sirius can figure that out, I feel like maybe the United States government can put some kind of popping filter over those mics, because it was killing me watching this yesterday.
Yes, Mr. President.
I can't even do it here because Sirius actually puts a little. What is that, Troy? How do you make it so that these peas don't pop all the time?
Well, first of all, you got a cover over top of
A little
it.
windscreen.
Windscreen, that helps. And then there's just compression.
A little compression over it.
They don't have any compression?
No compression. No filtering. No nothing.
I say my peas lightly. Compression? So the way it doesn't pop.
You're such a good broadcaster. But it was a wild scene yesterday. Just watching him. But that's a good example. You know, that doesn't actually prove anything. Like, you're not sitting there. That could have been literally any meeting. That could have been lunch. That could have been when Donald Trump, remember when he was running for election and he wanted to prove he wasn't racist, so he took a picture eating a taco bowl?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he took a picture of a taco bowl to prove that he likes Hispanic people, and a lot of Mexican people pointed out that the taco bowl is not an actual Mexican dish. Just something they made up. Yeah, see?
I love the thumbs up.
See, that could have been Don Jr. going and saying, Dad, the taco bowl is ready. You know? Could have been anything, but really what the juice of that clip and why I kept watching is because Michael Cohen was saying things that were unflattering on a personal level.
He wrote, I love Hispanics.
He did. He wrote, this was on Cinco de Mayo. He was running for president. This was in 2016. This was 3 years ago, in May. It's Cinco de Mayo. And he wrote, happy hashtag Cinco de Mayo. The best taco bowls are made in Trump Tower Grill. I love Hispanics. Which is good to know. Because a lot of people say he's racist, but if you love Hispanics, you can't be racist.
Absolutely.
Like,
that looks delicious, by the way, what he's eating.
Yeah.
The taco bowl?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't realize this, but the best taco bowls are made at the Trump Tower Grill. Now, part of that is because taco bowls are, I think, technically an American dish. Yeah. Like, I don't think that that's a traditional Mexican or Hispanic
Probably not.
dish.
No.
You know?
It looks good, though.
Anyway, he looks like he's about to enjoy a great lunch of a taco bowl.
It's the most photo op picture I've ever seen.
You think so?
No one smiles and thumbs up over a taco bowl.
His first scoop of taco bowl, you see that? He's got his fork in, ready to go.
I would love to shove that in my fucking dumb mouth right now. I'm starving.
Have a nice... Get Reed to bring Jim a taco bowl.
No, I won't eat it.
Tell him to go to the Trump Tower Grill because that's where the best taco bowls are.
Yeah, it's right there. We can go get one quick.
Yeah, it's no problem.
No, I don't think I'd make it through without shitting.
Yeah, I think that was really what this was all about.
I wonder how much long he's going to go to jail for.
Oh, Cohen?
Yeah, I mean, they sentenced him in like 3 years, but is he going to be there for 3 years?
No
or will
fucking way.
Will they give him a break?
He'll give him a break. He'll maybe do a year.
What's he going to do when he gets out? Maybe write a book.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be fine when he gets out. He can write a book. I'm sure somebody will make at least a made-for-TV movie out of this. Well, I'm sure he was getting killer ratings for the middle of the day for these 24-hour news networks. He was probably crushing it in the ratings. If he'll go on TV and say that the president said that his son, the president's son, had the worst judgment of anyone in the world.
That's true.
That's a guy who can make some cash.
Yeah, I guarantee you people would pay him to speak or bring him in to give dirt on the president. Yeah.
Yeah, all these colleges that don't want, alt-right people speaking, they probably hire.
I think they would welcome him.
Yeah, let's bring him to, the law school on campus. We're just going to have him talk about the law. But, while you're up there, why don't you throw in a couple jabs,
But he's been disbarred.
Yeah, but still, we can get him to throw a couple jabs in.
Yeah.
Maybe
he'll take questions.
Yeah.
He'll charge $50,000 to come in and take questions.
Yeah, I'll do a Q&A for $50,000. It's a good deal, man. It's a good deal.
When you're 52 years old, you don't want to be fucking... I mean, he was just a lawyer for Trump. Just the guy who was a lawyer for a billionaire, and now he's in front of Congress and going to jail.
Nobody would...
It just sucks.
I mean, it's crazy what happens, man. It's insane.
Yep.
And he said he started the campaign. He said running for president this time was his idea. There was one of the representatives up there was like, "Oh, it was your idea, huh? So he wouldn't have done it without you, huh? He wouldn't have done it." I'm like, give the guy a fucking break. He's going to jail for 3 years. Exactly. What are you trying to do?
He'll be fucking shitting on a metal toilet bowl for the next 3 years.
But he did. And it's amazing you could just call somebody a racist. You don't need actual...
No proof.
No proof. He called him a racist.
Yeah, in the car, he said the N-word. All right, did he?
Yeah, I'm under oath. And I wouldn't lie under oath
again
anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I was listening to the analyst too, and they go, well, what was really smart that he did was he made sure to use his tenses correctly. And I'm going, yeah, because he got out of second grade. He knows how to use past and present tense.
When you were once the president's lawyer, you'd hope you know past, present, future.
Future, he can nail future too.
Yesterday, I was going to the store. No, I went.
The analysts, the legal analysts were going, when he talked about lying, it was all in the past tense. You're going, man, I'm glad you guys are here to explain this to me.
Yeah, this guy's a crack witness.
Here's how Cohen started the whole thing out yesterday on what was a terrific TV show.
Never in a million years did I imagine, when I accepted a job in 2007 to work for Donald Trump, that he would one day run for the presidency, to launch a campaign on a platform of hate and intolerance.
There's right there, just a little editorializing, had nothing to do with anything.
It had nothing to do with anything, and in one breath, in the opening statement, he's saying, never in a million years did I think that Donald Trump would run for president. And then later on, by the way, this thing lasted like 8 fucking hours yesterday, but like 4 or 5 hours later, he's going, I suggested to the president that he run for president. But I thought you didn't think he would ever run. I thought that would never occur to you.
Well, when he first started, maybe.
Right. But the only reason it occurred to Trump was because you told him, you said.
Well, I've told people they should run for president. It never occurred to me that they would.
I mean, I guess, but if you came in here and if Troy was running for president and you were like, I never thought he would run for president. And they go, Jim, you told him to run for president. And you go, yeah, I thought he would say no.
Yeah.
I would say that's not a solid argument.
Well, I mean, it's the best I got. When I first met him, I didn't think he would.
It's the best I got.
As I've gotten to know him, I figured he'd be a great president.
But you didn't think he would do it.
No.
Right. That's like, he's like, yeah, I did. I told. That's literally the defense of the girl who just went to jail for texting her boyfriend to kill himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him to kill himself. I didn't think he would do it.
Jesus Christ. You know how many of my ex-girlfriends would be in jail if that actually worked?
Let's go back to it. We got to start from the beginning.
Never in a million years did I imagine, when I accepted a job in 2007 to work for Donald Trump, that he would one day run for the presidency, to launch a campaign on a platform of hate and intolerance, and actively win. I regret the day I said yes to Mr. Trump. I regret all the help and support I gave him along the way.
Oh.
I am ashamed of my own failings and publicly accepted responsibility for them by pleading guilty in the Southern District of New York.
Good.
I am ashamed of my weakness and my misplaced loyalty.
What fucking weakness?
The things I did for Mr. Trump in an effort to protect and promote him. I am ashamed that I chose to take part.
I fucking hate statements to Congress.
Illicit acts.
They're all
rather than
long.
Listening to my own
Just the way people talk.
I know.
I am ashamed because I know what Mr. Trump is.
What is he?
He is a racist. He is a con man. And he is a cheat.
Ugh.
I'm just glad that Michael Cohen didn't try to craft in sound bites into his speech.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wasn't thinking, like, I got to give him something for the headlines.
Yeah. MSNBC won't grab that.
No, they didn't. You know what? They thought that it was said with bias, so they decided not to run with it.
Good for them.
Yeah, they decided.
They're really, really good.
Yeah, they decided not to do it. It's smart on his part, because here's what he's thinking as a lawyer. Even if I need to say something so headline worthy in my opening statement that even if they get me with something in the questions, the headline is, Cohen says Trump is a racist. Even if they get me, I know at least half the newspapers will go with that part.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just silly.
So he's strategizing.
Hey, I think that he blamed Trump. Didn't he say that he was in Chicago and he beat up a homosexual actor?
Mr. Trump would regularly watch Empire, and the things that he would refer to Jesse Smollett as were very distasteful.
FNN.
I won't, Miss Your Honor, officer, I won't besmirch this court with what he said, but it was F and N.
By the way,
do you have any proof? No, but I remember very well.
He said it
very well. I definitely said it.
Have they had any more on that or no?
No, there hasn't been an
Nothing
update
new,
yet, but
okay.
there will be. There are. Yeah,
hope so.
I mean, it's not. I thought it would be done before. I don't think it's done now.
There's more to go.
I think so. Absolutely.
Maybe let's let him off the hook and forgive him.
I don't think the Chicago PD is feeling that, Jim.
No.
I think Jesse Smollett is still in Dutch.
He's in trouble.
I think they're letting Cohen have his spotlight for the week. I think what next week rolls around and we're all done with Michael Cohen. Back to Jesse. Jesse is just waiting in the cut. He's in the bullpen. So whenever the news slows down, we can go back to this big old phony faker. But in the meantime, you got Michael Cohen, who also said that he said that, and I find this hard to believe, President Trump's bid for president was actually about marketing. This is terrible.
Donald Trump is a man who ran for office to make his brand great, not to make our country great.
Oh.
He had no desire or intention to lead this nation, only to market himself and to build his wealth and power. Mr. Trump would often say, this campaign was going to be the greatest infomercial in political history.
It's another
He
soundbite.
never expected to win the primary. He never expected to win the general election. The campaign, for him, was always a marketing opportunity. I knew early on in my work for Mr. Trump that he would direct me to lie to further his business interests.
No.
Why else would a guy in fucking direct his lawyer to lie? Stupid ass.
I'd like for you to lie for me because hopefully we'll get caught one day and you'll tell Congress
Yeah.
all about it.
Yeah, this part I don't give a shit about. He wanted to further himself. Who cares?
Because he also goes later on, because he goes here. The whole thing was one, he referred to it as an infomercial for himself. And then later he says, after he won the presidency, I was his lawyer. Like he kept working for him throughout the campaign. And then after he was president. So you would think that all this wouldn't occur to him a year into it. He would know what he was doing as he was doing it. It would appear that Trump, if he's guilty of all these things, Cohen would be as culpable, no?
You know, and if Trump said that about, hey, it's just an infomercial for me. If he said that, that's one of those things you say when you don't expect to win. It's almost like if you walk up to a beautiful woman and you ask her out, and you're expecting her to say no, so you're like, fuck it, I'm just going to ask. I mean, well, so what if you, like, you're almost preparing the embarrassment of losing. So if he loses, he's like, yeah, it's just an infomercial. What do I care? It's good for me. Probably not expecting to win. Like, I'm not even trying. So if I don't win, it doesn't matter. I don't want to feel like I lost something.
Right. Who knows what the context was
Yeah.
of him saying, this is just like an infomercial.
Yeah, like say when people go on Last Comic Standing and get fucking booted off. Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, went on. It was free TV time.
Could have been in a moment of the press just destroying him.
Yeah.
Oh, Donald, you sure you want to deal with all this bad press? Oh, it's all good press. It's an infomercial. They're putting my name out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it was an infomercial for his businesses. Right.
Which, by the way, technically, this whole hearing and Cohen insulting Donald Trump for 8 hours on every channel on TV is an infomercial for whatever business Cohen gets into after he gets out of jail.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it depends on how long he does.
I would say, do you think that there won't be any interest in it?
Maybe he'll deal drugs in jail and get his time extended.
You're right.
It'd be funny if he became a white supremacist and murdered somebody in jail.
Stab someone in the neck.
Yeah.
I did what I had to
Got
do
tattoos.
to survive. Yeah, he's got a swastika on his neck when he comes out. Hey, Travis, could you find out from Rob if clip 19 is a montage? It feels like it is, but just ask him.
He's not in here.
Just
Where is
email him or text him or whatever. You don't need
I'll
to
text him.
do it on
I got
the air.
Hot Dog in here. He's been triggered this whole time.
Hot Dog's pissed?
Triggered about
So pissed.
Is he pissed? Who's he pissed at? I want to get the Hot Dog take while Travis,
Why?
you get the answer to my question.
Rob.
What's Hot Dog? Why are you all fired up in there? Hot Dog loves following the news.
He does.
He loves Hot Dog. You know what he used to do? This is how much Hot Dog, the mysterious Hot Dog who helps us out here on the show, this is how much he loves the news. I found this out. He used to have a picture frame, and he put the picture frame on his desk in his room. And every week, he would switch out. He would put whatever the cover of Time magazine was, he would put in the picture frame. Not a classic cover, not a cover that featured his favorite newsworthy person. whatever the current issue of Time magazine was, he would frame that cover in his bedroom.
And I would change the lighting in my room to match what the color scheme was of the magazine.
I wish right now there was a button I could push and a blackout shade would drop over that window.
You can't even look at him.
No. It's
No.
awful. For what reason?
It just looks good.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Look
It
good.
does, yeah.
Oh, hey, what's a great piece of art? Is that a Monet? No, Newsweek.
Yeah. Oh, where'd you pick up an old issue of Time magazine? No, it's on newsstands right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or no, not even news. Did you have it delivered to you or did you pick it up?
I pick it up from work. That's why I work.
Why would you... What would look good about a Time in a frame?
Every single time you come over to my place is it's the new issue.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
So your place has the charm
Of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What would you put around? A little display of lighters?
I have a light behind my frame.
And he would like to. What he would do in his bathroom is right under his medicine cabinet. He would just put a rack of candy bars. So it's like being at the pharmacy. It's cool. It looks good. You
What a
know?
weird thing to do. Why would you do that? Like was it? Do you love Time magazine?
He loves the news.
I like having a little magazine. I had Sports Illustrated for a while there with LeBron, and then I had he went to the Lakers, so I had the yellow color scheme in the background. It looked cool.
Are you OCD?
I don't know. It looks cool.
He doesn't have enough stuff to keep neat.
What a bizarre thing to do.
It is really weird.
Yeah,
And
I collect shit, but that's just
It's not even collecting.
current Time in a
Current.
picture frame.
Every Thursday.
I go on his Instagram stories. I'm going through his Instagram stories, and he's like, "Fuck Donald Trump, what a fucking asshole." And then I'm like, "Hey, hot dog, what photo do you have framed on your desk right now?" And he's like, "Oh, Donald Trump's on the cover of Time magazine." I'm
Yeah,
going,
it was a
"What?"
cover of Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un shaking hands, and Kim Jong Un.
Do you throw them out when you're done?
No, I just toss it to my mom.
We should throw out your fake accent.
Or Kim Jong
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong
It's
Un.
like, I watch anime, so I put an accent on this stuff.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, who do you have? The great leader and Donald Trump.
So who do you? What's triggering you about this? What did you feel about it?
There's some inaccuracies in
And the way we're reporting?
Yes, there's some.
Oh, you're getting pissed at Jim and I in the way we're conducting our business.
Well, I mean, I am a liberal, and there's some fake news going on here.
Like,
I mean, I don't even think Jim and I are taking a conservative slant on this.
No, but there are some inaccuracies. Michael Cohen did not say it was his idea for Trump to run. He said he organized the campaign. He started off the campaign legally.
He said, I started the campaign. I listened to him.
Yes, he didn't say it was his idea for him to run.
He said, I went to him. He said he registered the website.
Right.
The
As in
first
he did all the
website.
legal work.
And he said, I suggested to him that he run for president. He 100% said
can we hear that? Let's just solve it.
I don't know if I have to. I mean, it was 8 hours of stuff. I probably
we have 8
everyone
hours.
knows Roger Stone was responsible for that, for Trump running.
Roger Stone is a whole different story.
Everyone takes credit for it.
Of course they do.
Because you won.
Yeah, Trump was on fucking Oprah in 1984 saying, I'm going to run for president.
Yep.
Trump's wanted to run for
Oprah
president.
suggested it. You should run for president. I've seen that clip.
Stone's been with him since the 80s.
Right.
Yeah. It was
But that's a minor point, though. Did he suggest it? Did he not suggest it? Because you'll never be able to prove it if he said it.
You're a Michael Cohen guy.
Yeah. I'm not a Michael Cohen guy. But
Michael Cohen.
Yeah. How about Kim Jong-un?
Kim Jong-un. Michael Cohen.
But there is reason to believe a lot of what he says. Because
Allah?
A lot.
Did he just say there's reason to believe Allah?
There sure is. He's becoming radicalized.
He is. Have you been radicalized, Hot Dog?
Are you going to marry a freedom fighter, as they call them in ISIS?
But the whole reason he's going to prison is because he lied to Congress. So
And
why
tax-
would you go back
and
under
tax
oath?
evasion. He lied to Congress.
Yeah.
He lied to the IRS. All the bad stuff that he's talking about Trump doing, he also
done.
did.
And he was his personal lawyer for 10 years. So
Right.
to think that Trump is not clean, it has clean hands and doesn't, isn't responsible for any of that.
So what else do you
ridiculous.
think is our fake news? Or that one, but I don't even know what the answer there is.
Shoot, I have short-term memory. I probably forgot by now, but
Jesus.
I
Just
know.
getting all fired up.
I was.
What are you doing as you're listening with your fucking sniffing a paint can? How do you forget?
I had the worst memory. I was
Okay.
triggered the whole time though.
Were you?
Yeah,
So why do you like Trump so much? I don't get it.
like Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you such a fan? Why are you such a Trumpster?
Not at all. No.
Oh, really?
And and like the whole not caring if he colluded with a foreign government. I mean, that's a big deal.
But he said, Cohen said he didn't collude.
Yeah,
Your
I don't believe it. I'm
your
just
guy
sick of hearing
Cohen
it.
said
Yeah,
that he didn't
which is
collude.
also reason to believe what he said. He said he doesn't have evidence. He says, he said he might be capable, but that doesn't mean anything. What him saying that?
I'm just tired of the Russians.
I think Jim is saying that
You're
he's
tired of the Russians.
You're
A lot of people
Russian.
aren't tired of the Russians.
Jim is saying
I'm tired
he's
of the
tired of
Russians.
the story because it's going nowhere.
It's going nowhere for 2 years now, and I'm just sick of the Russian bad guy.
The Nixon trials and investigations took more than 2 years, and he got impeached. So
Did
2
you know
years.
that, Jim?
I know.
Yeah, and no one cared about it then, but he ended up getting impeached
I know, for the stupid break-in. Who gave a shit?
again.
Well, Nixon was secretly recording everybody in the White House. That's pretty fucked up.
They
Yeah.
all do it. They all tape.
And the Republicans have been investigating Benghazi now for what, 8 years?
Yeah.
You're sick of Benghazi?
Yeah, kind of.
okay.
Yeah. I think Hillary stinks for it. Yes.
And if the president broke the law, or there are some like evidence leaning towards that, you need to investigate it. Congress is there for checks and balances. Need to investigate. You might not care.
I love it.
It's endless with this fucking Russian thing. This has nothing to do with me liking or disliking Trump. It's just endless, and I'm bored with it. I'm bored with her email talk. I'm bored with all of it. These fucking two just snipping at each other for 3 years.
Hot Dog, is your issue that Jim is coming across a little MAGA today?
No, it's just it's just very passive, and like
He's coming. It sounds like the type of guy that might hit Jesse Smollett with a Subway sandwich or whatever that story was.
Yeah, I think Jim is just passive about it, which is fine.
It's
Passive
not passive
MAGA?
about it. I'm just bored with it. I'm bored with the whole storyline, which is, like Sam said, is going nowhere.
But that's more of a media thing.
And I don't buy it.
That's not a investigation thing. That's more the media. That's what they're selling right now because that's what people are buying.
I just don't buy it.
Let me ask you, Hot Dog, because you're the person to go to on this. I'm surprised you haven't been called in. Do you think there was collusion?
Yes.
Whoa.
There's been almost everyone around him has been indicted and is going to prison, and there's no.
Yeah, he's made some bad choices with people around him.
Yeah, and I'm sure he had nothing to do with any of that, and it's just his people. He just has bad luck picking people.
Troy, I know Rob's having a busy day today. Can you make sure that he gets that clip out to the press that Hot Dog thinks that there is collusion?
Yeah.
Because I think it's part of the national conversation, don't you think?
Yeah.
We actually do have some feedback on this exact topic. Should we go to Lucas, Jim?
Yep.
Okay, Lucas in Cleveland. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, Hot Dog, you're a retard. Richard Nixon resigned. He was not impeached. He resigned under pressure.
Clinton was impeached.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, but there are going to be some.
Because he was doing the old Cuban insertion.
Is that what it's called?
In these neck of the woods.
Yeah,
the old Cuban insertion.
They were leading to impeachment proceedings, and it was more civilized back then. So before it even got to that point, he resigned. But it was definitely leading to impeachment.
But he wasn't impeached.
No. But it was leading to it, and it's not as
You
crazy.
said he was impeached. No.
All right, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That was fake news. That was fake news.
See, maybe I'm passive and getting too aggressive.
Let's be accurate here.
You're right.
No,
You're
no,
right.
no,
You're
no.
right.
Let's be accurate. And
I
if
said you're
there's-
right.
I am absolutely right.
Yes, you are, Lucas. We should go to another call. We
At
should
least
go to
Casey in Texas. All right, he's on Hot Dog's side.
Yeah, Casey.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hi.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Nixon was never impeached. The only two presidents that were ever impeached are Andrew Johnson and Bill Clinton.
Hey, Hot Dog. Was Bill Clinton a Republican or one of your libs?
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
Bill Clinton, Republican or no?
Oh, he was a liberal. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
He got impeached.
Okay, cool.
What did he do under oath?
He lied under oath.
Oh.
Yeah. And again, you should hold
Looks
presidents.
like you're not so infallible, Hot Dog.
Did I defend? I didn't defend Clinton. I'm not fucking hard left, or I'm not blind to what things. You should hold the president to a higher standard.
That's right.
I mean, he got in trouble because of a blowjob, and for some reason,
And
Trump,
the old Cuban insertion.
yes, and for some reason, Trump just skates off of all the bullshit that he does. But whatever.
Well, Trump hasn't lied under oath, or at least he hasn't gotten caught lying under oath.
Yeah. And
That's
he didn't get blown in the White House.
Yeah, he won't go under.
I'm not saying it's wrong to get blown in the White House. He just wasn't stupid enough to do it.
Yeah, he didn't do the old, as it's called in the street, Cuban insertion.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
start
have
calling
nothing
it
against
that.
getting blown in that chair. Believe me. Fuck Yasser Arafat. Let him stand in the garden like a dope.
I'm gonna next time at our next wedding anniversary. I'm gonna go, Jess. You ever thought about spicing it up a little bit? We've been married for a little while now. You ever interested in something like the old Cuban insertion?
How does she said yes every time you're on the road?
Yeah, my Cuban coworker. Well, we should
Quit?
No, I don't think. Not both of us. There's a lot to cover with this Cohen thing, and then we don't need to do absolutely everything. But is Travis in there, Hot Dog?
No,
Are you in there by yourself?
I'm here with Rob.
Oh, is that clip a montage, bud?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, hot dog, cut that up.
This was this is what I was talking about with the Democrats being nice and the Republicans being mean.
A lot of people have asked me about whether Mr. Trump knew about the release of the hacked documents, the Democratic National Committee email, ahead of time. And the answer is yes. Questions have been raised about whether I know of direct evidence that Mr. Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia. I do not.
Mr. Cohen, you called Donald Trump a cheat in your opening testimony. What would you call yourself?
A fool.
His remorse is non-existent. He just debated a member of Congress saying, I really didn't do anything wrong with the false bank things that I'm guilty of and going to prison for.
Mr. Jordan, that's not what I said, and you know that's not what I said. I said I pled guilty, and I take responsibility.
Yield to the gentleman. Well, you yield to the gentleman.
Right in front of this committee, you
how fired up they are, right?
Your testimony, sir. You're a pathological.
Pathologic.
They thought he was going to have his moment. You fucked up.
Hey, this is my time.
Are you referring to me, sir, or the
when I ask you a question,
Yes.
I'll ask for an answer.
Sure.
We're being a little cunty there, huh?
He was. This is my time. A lot of them were a little cunty.
Charlottesville, watching the daily destruction of our civility to one another.
Will you today to commit to donate any further proceeds to book deals, to film reviews, to charity?
No.
It's political theater.
Sir, if you believe it's not political theater for me, and I take no pleasure in saying anything negative.
Will you donate all your stuff to charity? Shut up.
Mr. Trump asked you to...
These are all Republicans?
Yeah. The first wave of them is all...
The nice ones are obviously
50
Democrats.
times?
More.
100 times?
More.
200 times?
More.
500 times?
Probably.
What do you want your children to know?
That I'm sorry for everything.
See, like, these are the softballs now coming from the Democrats. What do you want your children to know? That I'm a good person. That's great.
Yeah.
That's really something.
What would you do if you saw your child crying? Would you burn him with a match or hug him?
Hug?
Mr. Cohen, recognize the gravity of your offenses?
I most certainly do, Mr. Chairman. I have done things I am not proud of, and I will live with the consequences of my action.
I mean, isn't it amazing the difference? On one side, they go, would you like to apologize again and talk about what a great person you are? And he goes, yes, please. And on the other side, they're not even asking him questions.
Yeah.
They're just, you're a fucking asshole. Yeah. No, I'm not. Hey, this is my time. If I want you to answer a question, I'll ask one. Anyway, back to what I was saying. You're a fucking asshole.
They're just making speeches about what a cunt he is.
It's awesome.
He has to sit there and take it. That must suck when you have to sit there and take it because you know they're trying to get you to react and look bad. Because if you look bad, you look like you're just not credible.
And it's hours of it. It's just hours.
I wouldn't last at all.
You wouldn't?
No.
How long do you think it would go? How many?
The first one.
You don't think you could go through one?
Do ya? Do ya? Yeah, I wouldn't last.
You don't think you could get through one monologue of what a shit heap you are?
No, I actually can. I probably could.
How many do you
jerk off during it?
Yeah, yeah. Could you put your heels in my mouth while you say that? No, I've had to tolerate, just looking at stupid people saying stupid things for a long period of time without saying anything.
You talking about Voss? Oh boy. Let's but other stupid people. I see.
Dope.
I see. My favorite part, and I forgot that this guy was even elected to office. So like when I started doing my solo show, like way back, like 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, there was this lieutenant down south that was putting out these wild videos where it was in St. Landry. It was the St. Landry Parish. And he would go and he would just blast criminals, right? He was Lieutenant Higgins. And he would
Is he a cop or military?
He was a cop at the time. And I think he was ex-military as well. But he would blast criminals and just talk about what scumbags they were and then say, if you've seen this person, call me. But they were so sensationalized and so entertaining that I would just watch them on the air. And eventually, it was when Paul Orchevsky, who works here at Raw Dog, it was when he was producing my show. And eventually, he got Lieutenant Higgins on the phone with me, I think a couple times. We started calling him as our legal expert on criminals and criminality and whatnot. So I had forgotten. I thought that there was some controversy around him, But what I forgot was he's sitting and he got to ask Cohen questions yesterday. And he starts talking and I'm going, where do I know that voice from? And I go, holy shit, Lieutenant Higgins is on TV. Go back, Troy. If you want an example, you were on the right spot. Lieutenant Higgins, the second one. Actually, the first one. The first one is my favorite one.
Is he a Republican?
He is. Yeah. He is quite a Republican. He's very Republican. He's a religious guy, but he's
from where?
He's a moral guy. St. Landry Parish.
Okay. No, what state is it?
I don't know. I can't remember, but I just remember he was Lieutenant Higgins from the St. Landry Parish, and this is the stuff they would play it on their local news, and this is the type of stuff that you would hear. It's in Louisiana, the home of Mark Normand. And this is the type of stuff that you would hear. I don't know if anybody who was listening to me all the way back then remembers.
On Wednesday night, July the 8th, Stelly's Market and Restaurant on Highway 71 was broken into and burglarized. The thief smashed the front glass with a large rock, kicked in the office door, and made off with hundreds of dollars in cash. Watch as a man commits his crime. Look at him close. The hooded jacket he's wearing is camouflage. He appears to be light-skinned or white, and he looks to be around 6 foot tall and thin. Watch how he walks, with sort of a lanky gait. Stelly's has been a local favorite for decades. The family works hard and is known to be generous. Always with a kind word for friend or stranger, the Stelly family represents Southern hospitality at its best.
By the way, his hand is on his gun the whole time.
No, yeah,
he's a state trooper.
He's talking about how great Stelly's is, but it's in the most threatening way that I've ever seen. Like, if you don't agree with me, if you don't also like to get sandwiches at Stelly's, I'll shoot you in the fucking face right now.
Yeah, that does not seem like the best place to shop. You want to go down to Stelly's? No, I don't.
I'm going to tell you right now. I saw this and I go, remind me next time I'm in St. Landry Parish, Stelly's is a must stop because I don't want to piss the wrong guy off.
It does not look like an Everly. The sign looks disgusting.
We'll rewind like 5 seconds, just a tiny little bit, Troy, because he'll sell you on it. Listen to him. This is where he moves off the crime and just starts selling you on how great Stelly's is.
A kind word for friend or stranger.
Isn't it great the way he uses words?
Yeah.
One word for friend or stranger. The Stelly family represents Southern hospitality at its best. If you're the man that committed this felony, look at me, son. I'm talking to you. The sheriff likes Stelly's restaurant, and so do I. The food here is good, and the folks are friendly. We're going to identify you, arrest you, and put you in a small cell. After that, I'm going to have a cheeseburger here with fries and a Coke, and leave a nice tip for the waitress. Meanwhile, your next meal will be served through a small hole in a cell door. Because our detectives harvested DNA from the rock you used, and you left a perfect...
No, they didn't. No, they did not harvest DNA. Much like the slashed throat of a prostitute, they took DNA off the rock. You stole oranges. No, that's not the truth.
You don't think they got skin fragments and nail fragments and fingerprints?
They didn't harvest DNA. No.
From the rock.
Yeah.
He left a rock behind.
You know, my client did not throw a rock through that window. That's a lie.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw this rock through this Stelly's window, and then we're going to test it for DNA just to find out.
They did not take DNA off the rock.
Stelly's is like, why is this lazy-mouthed attorney throwing rocks through my window? We're going to find out if he's really innocent or not. We didn't make a murderer here. This is an innocent man.
So why doesn't he just identify the guy? If they have him identified, why not just say we're looking for this man?
Listen, son, if I wanted questions out of you, I'd look at my asshole in the mirror. What does that mean? Listen, son, I'm going to Stelly's for a cheeseburger where I'm going to give the waitress a nice tip. Go for it. Yeah, go for it.
On the door you kicked in. But we won't have to wait on lab results because you're on St. Landry Crime Stoppers tonight. Congratulations, son. I'm about to make you famous. By tomorrow, 100,000 people will have watched you commit a felony. You will be recognized. And the people that know you don't really like you anyway. So when it comes down to a choice between you and $1,000, they'll take the cash. On behalf of Crime Stoppers, I'm Lieutenant Higgins.
So wait, did they ever get that guy? Can we look at, is there a follow-up to any of these?
I don't know if there's any follow-up, but I had him on the show, and I asked him, and he said he did get him.
Oh, he did? Well, he's going to ask,
He absolutely did. Well, he's not going to lie to me.
Yeah.
He's on the radio with me.
We use the cameras from Google Earth to follow you home, sir.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I don't think this is just empty intimidation tactics. I think he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But
we got your DNA. You might as well confess.
Imagine my surprise when I'm like sitting there thinking about this from 3 or 4 years ago. Imagine my surprise when I got my news channels on yesterday at home. I'm watching the Michael Cohen show, and all of a sudden, that voice comes on my TV and starts talking to Michael Cohen. I couldn't believe it. Do you want to hear what Lieutenant Higgins is up to right now?
Yeah.
Okay, here he is from yesterday.
One of my colleagues asked you regarding the television deal. You expressed wonderment that your predicament could possibly get you on television. It certainly got you on television today, has it not, sir?
Sir, I was on television representing Mr. Trump going back into 2011.
Well, I didn't know who you were until today, really. until the FBI.
Oh, is he not good in this situation?
Higgins?
Didn't know who you
What
were.
do you mean? He didn't know who he was.
Till today? Where the fuck have you been?
See, he's trying to sit there and go like, you're not so famous, Cohen. You're not such a big deal. But yeah, there were some people that said it is your job to know. You should know. You're a lawmaker. You should know who
the president's lawyer is when he's been in the news for the last fucking year in trouble.
Yeah, you should have known. Troy's got a clip of him giving a bit of a monologue. And what I liked about Higgins is he brings his law enforcement background into this. He may not be a lieutenant anymore, but he'll always be Lieutenant Higgins.
Yeah.
The word tells us clearly that a man's mouth is his destruction and his lips are the snare of his soul.
Is he talking about the Bible?
I see you.
Not in my life.
And trapped in that. However, I must tell you that I've arrested several thousand men, and you remind me of many of them. The ones that immediately become humble and remorseful at the time they're actually booked. And while they're incarcerated, they're quite penitent, and then return to their former selves when they're back on the street. So, respectful to your family and what they're going through, I owe you the honesty to tell you that that's my sense of you, good sir.
People are going like, okay, do you have a question, Lieutenant Higgins? Like, I mean, that seems like a snap judgment to make when you didn't know who I was yesterday.
And he hasn't gone to jail. He's like, you seem like the type that's going to play chess all day and then eventually get out and commit your crimes again.